Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. And this is going to be one of the soul time statements that I talked about in a video that came out earlier on my channel. I'll have the link to that video describing why I'm doing this and what it's about. This is basically something that you can utilize. You can make it a prayer for yourself, you can make it an incantation, you can have it as an affirmation. You can describe it, label it as whatever you feel comfortable with. Now, I kind of jumped the line of what I thought the order would be that I would kind of introduce these. These are like downloaded, channeled statements for specific situations that you're going through. Now, hi Larry. I wanted to jump this one and release it sooner just because too the comments, actually a lot of comments from people experiencing spiritual attack, any sort of dark or black magic, people casting spells. There's all sorts of weird shit out there, my friends. There's all sorts of weird shit. To be quite honest, it wasn't something that I was even really aware of until I got into tarot. So well, it's not tarot. I'm not going to put it on tarot. It is not the tarot, because through the tarot I have connected through my spirit guides, through divinity, through Christ consciousness energy, speaking to God. It is a tool, and as long as you approach, because it is a spiritual tool, as long as you approach that with, I want to say, protection and intention. Like my intention is always to bring divinity in to what I do. So that's what comes in. Of course, dark energies could come through the tarot if I don't prepare myself properly. But I've always believed that God is a lot more powerful than the devil. So why would a tool only be something that the devil could use? It doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to clear that up. It is not the tarot. I want to say it is being in the public eye. That is 100% for sure where I have become very aware that there are, because I'm exposing myself to the entire planet doing this. So anyways, there's all sorts of different reasons why this could happen to a person, and I thought, you know, I want to do this one right away after seeing the comments. This soul time statement has a bit of what I would call physical purification and ritual involved with it. Now, it doesn't, just trust me, it's not like, when I say ritual, like, you know, I have a ritual every morning. I get up, I say my rise and shine and stuff. You know, I have like a little meditative practice that I do. That's ritual. That's pretty much as it goes. This ritual, this statement is its most powerful when you are in water. You can be in a bath, you can be having a shower, you can be going for a swim. I've even used it with just wiping myself with a wet cloth. It's incredible. And I want to say though too, because there's also like our minds are very powerful in terms of what we believe and what we don't believe. So when I believe that I am washing something away, I am washing something away. But I do feel like there's something about water that has come through so many times in my readings, in terms of how energies are moved through and purification. But anyways, so having said that, this is best utilized when you are incorporating it with water. You stand in the shower and state this. Now, there's also something that some people might find, I don't know, might be controversial. Well, okay. At the very end, the final part of this statement is not how some spiritualists might feel that this energy should be utilized. It's not really utilizing it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the statement. It will be written. I will type it down in the description as well so you can see it. You can copy and paste that too if you want to put that into something for yourself instead of just trying to write it out from what I'm saying. But so I'm going to say it, and then we're going to talk about the end, and I'm going to tell you why the end is the way it is. It has an awful lot to do with karmic laws. Say it. Okay. Wash away the darkness and these casted spells, leaving me purified within these waters' wells. Send this darkness back to its original source. where God shall decide its projected course. It is a very weighty statement, and it did come to me at a point where I was having like really intense spiritual attacks coming towards me. Now, I also feel like I was telling you in another video, that connecting to the Christ consciousness energy, literally feeling like Jesus is one of my guides, and he can be anybody's guide. To be honest, he's not like, put him up on a pedestal, you have to talk through this person to get to him, and then that person, and that. No, you don't have to do that. So at the end of this statement, right, I am sending the energy back to its original source. Now, when you say original source, that is not necessarily the person who sent the spell. They are taking dark energy from some type of source. That's the original source. I am not sending anything back that has been sent to me that is dark, demonic, bad, transmuted and transcended. That is not my job. That's not what I do. That's not my job. And it's not my decision. I am not giving any evil a pass. I'm not doing that. I am making sure that this energy is removed from me, and I am giving the ultimate judge and jury the decision as to what that should be done with that energy as it goes back to where it came from. I feel very strongly about that, because I do feel that when we talk about karma and dharma, energetic returns, reciprocity, right? When we talk about that, it is important, and we talk about karmic laws, it is important that we do not put ourselves in front of what universal law is, right? And that is governed by source, heavens, God, whatever you feel comfortable describing it as. When I make a decision to declare that there is something dark that has come to me and I'm removing it from myself, and I want to send it back in peace and love, I am trying to stand in front of karmic law. I will not do it, right? I'm not sending negativity that way. I'm taking it off of me, and I am allowing it to go back to from where it came from, and it's up to God to decide how that energy is delivered. If there is something about this energy and the original source is actually a person, perhaps God makes the decision that this person has done what they have done because of a situation that they were going through, and this person feels great remorse, guilt, they've already got negative things going on around them. I will transform and transmute this energy, right? This person has already received their due justice for what they have done. That's up to God. That is up to God to decide. If this is an energy that is downright evil, it has a true intent of just causing chaos, hurt, harm, and destruction to others, I allow God to make that decision on how that energy should be treated. It is not my place, and I don't feel like it is anybody's place. You can, of course, absolutely send love, send forgiveness, send hope to anyone that you think has perhaps done any sort of like spell casting or anything like that to you. I would encourage that, because that keeps your frequency high, and that is your energy that you are sending. That is not an energy that you have received, and now you are coming to a decision about how that should be treated. All you need to do is remove this from you. That is your God-given right to remove that energy from yourself. All energy comes from source. God can handle that. Let God take that on. That's not your problem. It's not your problem how that energy is dealt with. Definitely, outside of this statement, send your enemies, prayers, hopes, all that good stuff. But I know a lot of other tarot readers and spiritualists and New Age will, and I feel like you really have to look at that, because it is important that you, myself, are not the ones making the decisions as to what energies that do not belong to you are what's done to them. And to be quite honest, I think God is more equipped, the heavens source is more equipped to transform and transmute energy, if that's what needs to be done to it, than me. I am protecting myself in that statement, and I am removing something that is not mine. And that is our free will. That is our right and free will to be able to do that. So this is a very powerful, and I will tell you it's powerful because shortly after the first time I did this, there was things that happened around me, and the interesting thing was a particular way that I was being attacked. I saw within 48 hours of me utilizing this soul time statement. Within 48 hours, there was someone that I don't know personally, but I would probably know through a certain number of points of, what is that, disconnect? It's not disconnect. When you're like 3 points removed or whatever. So, okay. Someone that I would likely know through, like someone knows another person, and so on and so on. But within my my community field, we'll say that, this person got attacked the same way I was getting attacked. I just thought, that's weird. That's really weird. Anyways, it's very powerful. If there's anything that you were dealing with that, and I feel it's so powerful too, because I honestly feel like water holds energy. You're allowing the water to literally take this and remove it from you physically, right? And when we're speaking around water, I feel like it amplifies the words and the energy that are coming out of our mouths. So that's one of the most powerful ones that has come to me through download. And yeah, and it ends the way it does. Like I don't say, send this energy back in love and light, and no, I'm going to give it to God. Give it to God. Let God deal with that energy. It's not your job. Don't put it on yourself. And I do also feel like that, and again, these are my personal feelings. They don't have to be yours. You do whatever you want with these. If you want to change it a bit at the end, hey, you can do that. But I honestly really do feel like by acknowledging an energy that's been sent to you that is not in your highest good, it's really not in anyone's highest good than perhaps the person who is sending it. Although at the end of the day, that's not their highest good. But if you take that energy and you remove it, it needs to go somewhere. I do feel like that you are creating a negative karma around yourself to dictate to the universe how that energy should be treated. It's not your job. It's not your job. It's not your energy. It's not yours to decide what should be done with it. So, having said that, that is the soul time. Actually, I'm going to stay in this a little bit longer because there's a few. Wait, is there a few? Okay. I can almost make this video. What's that process? Now, okay. Now, there's another one here that I'll share. So that's like removing something that is literally like onto you personal as a person. So there can also be energies. Now, these energies do not have to be, I'm going to talk about your space, like your personal space. And it could be something that someone has sent or directed towards your space. It could be your home. It could be, anything like that. Or it could just be like, sometimes I feel like low frequencies can build up in any home, to be quite honest, if there's been no movement in that space for a long time. Like if you go into an abandoned home, there's a real kind of like creepy energy that can be found in certain spots within the home based on any light gets into that area, any air movement occurs in that area or not. So, it can just sometimes naturally, a darker energy can kind of just start to, I guess, appear. Or, here's the other thing. my mom has experienced this. She's experienced this, and she's really good at seeing orbs and things. So she's had experiences where like a contractor or someone has come into the house. And I'm like, the next day after that, or the evening, she sees things like move out of the corner of her eye and like look, and then you see like, and we've talked about it before, and all the time I'll be like, well, what's going on? Like, what is happening? And almost every time it's like someone who's come into the house that's not related to her, just came in to do some work or to do something. So she'll go around and I'll give her advice. I also like advice for your space, singing bowls and sage. They're amazing, especially like a higher frequency, like the singing bowl. It really, you can put that, like I have a crawl space in my house. I sing and bowl that thing all the time. Larry goes in there all the time. Like that's an area that is dark and there's not a lot of air movement in there, right? But anyway, so it could be like that can happen as well. Someone could come in and they could have a negative energy or entity surrounding them, or that just follows them around and then decides, you know what, I kind of like it, I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. So, okay. So this is a really simple one, and it does work incredibly well for removing dark energies from your place. This one was one of the first ones that ever kind of like downloaded into me. And it was, I feel I was activated. Some of you may have remembered, it was in the house previous to this one. I was doing a live video, and the funny thing was I looked back on it and I thought to myself, I was in a rush to get that video started and get there on time. I forgot to sit down and do my little, like I have a little protection statement prayer that I put out before I start pulling tarot on the camera, particularly for live readings. And I did forget to do that. So I think it was all sign zodiac, and Lily was in my arms. It was towards the end of the video, and I had no idea that this had happened until later I was seeing the comments. I'm like, people, there's a snake in your house. There's a snake. Like, some of you may have even been the person who commented on that. And like, Pisces, I'm like, what are they talking about? I don't have a snake in my house. It's crazy. And anyway, so I went back and I started looking at the video, and oh my God. It was the craziest shit. I've shown people, like friends and family, and they're like, that's nuts. That's crazy. Like, that is not a thread or something that is moving that the light has caught. And so it was behind me in the back wall. It just looked like a glowing snake, like an energetic glowing snake. It came out of the wall and it started moving right towards me. My back was to it, but Lily was in my arms. And at that point in time, she turned her head. I don't think she had to turn her head much, just kind of like one of those. And she was looking right at it. And immediately, as soon as she did that, this energetic light snake thing, it moved and it went. And I think did it go up the wall or it went down the wall? I can't remember what it did. But anyway, when I saw that, it freaked me the fuck out. It's like, oh my God, that really was something. And the way it reacted, just when she moved her head, but it moved like with intent, not like something floating around in a room. Really crazy. So anyways, this is what that experience is what brought upon the one that I'm going to share with you, which is clearing your energy. And boy, did that work. It was weird. Actually, there was a part, I went down in the basement of that house, which was all finished, but there was like a little access hatch in one area of the basement, and I was saging and stating this through the whole house. I got down into the basement, into this little access hatch, and the sage sparked. It was crazy. I thought, whoa, that's nuts. And it just sparked while I said that, and I felt like I had hit whatever that was in the house, and it was like, you're out of here, get out of here. So anyways, you ready for this one? So this one, it's very simple, but it's very effective. Banish all dark entities from this place. They are not permitted within my space. It's so simple, but one of the things that I've really learned now, these do lean into incantations, and this is the first one that ever came out for me, and I do feel like I've probably got like some sort of background in lifetimes where I was very witchy. And again, though, witches have been demonized throughout history. Witches were basically people that like knew what herbs to use. They knew how to work with nature. They exercised prayer, honestly, right? Like in their own way as well. But I think it's just, it has to kind of come down to sort of negative masculine energies that demonize, villainize feminine energy that does not seem to require it and is doing really well on its own. Seems to be a pattern throughout history. So, again, well, I won't get into that. I could just get so off topic. Because I'm not going to lie. A lot of times I get like spiritually attacked and harassed by Christians. People who call themselves Christians. They're crazy. They are crazy for one thing. I've met a lot of nice Christians in my life, but it's just crazy, right? So again, because religion to me is kind of like created by man to control people or to give someone else power between yourself and the divine. Nobody, I'm just helping you all out here. You probably all got good ideas yourself, and you don't need me to connect between yourself and the divine. I do, maybe my antenna is a little bit stronger than other people. Like some people are good at piano. I can't really, not good with that. But so this one is really, really good. Now, as I talk about, I think I talked about it in the As I Rise and Shine soul time statement, how to close them off. That is completely up to you, how you want to close these off. If you want to use these as an incantation, I would repeat it 3 times. And then after the third, each time needs to be perfect. It does. If I mess it up at the 3rd time, I start all over again until I get 3 in a row that are perfect. And then close it off with, and so it is spoken, and so it shall be, which is also a very powerful statement. Blessed be, you put amen in there as well, or you can just close this off with amen, or you can put in Jesus' name, amen. You know, whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Well, you don't have to do it. Do whatever you want. But I think you should close it off at the end. Now, also, as we sit in the topic of this, like protecting yourself, I think, wait, let me just, okay. Okay, maybe I'm gonna, I don't want to get it too good, because it's going to be too many things that I have to write in the description. I want people to get confused. So I'll make a separate video on that. Because I do have some other ones here all on this topic about also protecting yourself before you go into places, or if you think, or let's say you're going to do something like this, you're going to make a video. It's not the one that I use for myself, protecting before I do video, but it could definitely be used for that. So I'll do that one as well. There's one last thing that I want to mention that I have found is more powerful than any of these. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know firsthand because I only incorporated it after removing the energies from myself and knowing that they were effectively removed. It's almost like creating a very powerful barrier around yourself. It might sound really crazy, but it's the Lord's Prayer. I'm telling you, the power that thing can do, that statement, that prayer can do in terms of protecting your energy is incredible. It really is. I can't even remember it just came to me. It was just like, Cindy, just say it. Just say it. And it took me a few minutes. Like, I don't know about the rest of you, but it was pretty much like raised on that. Like every day in school from like junior kindergarten all the way through to grade 8. So like 10 years, every morning, 5 days a week, of course, unless, holidays and all that stuff. It did not take much for it to come back to my head and just the rhythm of it. That is very, very powerful. I haven't used it myself, but I would also, as I walk through the shadow of darkness and like some of these things, they've kind of stood the test of time for a reason, I want to say. So that's what I have for you in terms of protecting yourself, removing the dark energy, what I think you should do with that energy, how you should deal with it once it's been removed. Again, you could do whatever you want to do. Maybe you have a different opinion about your authority about transmuting and transcending energies that have been sent to you from dark entities. I wouldn't delve into that. I would just let God deal with it, to be honest. It worked well for me. So that's what I have on this one today for the Soul Time statement. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope that this is helpful for you. That is really why I want to put it out there for each of you. And until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.